Welcome to Carolina on Tap, where we check out local breweries in the Carolinas and beyond. Today we visit the home of the Aviator Brewing Company in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina, just down the road from Raleigh. To find out more about Aviator, we sat down with owner Mark Doble.
Aviator Brewing got started in an airplane hangar at W Airport. It was a very large hangar. I had a very small airplane, and the extra space was perfect for a brewery. The motivation to start the brewery really was almost out of just boredom with my job. It's just got to the point where it's just not interesting anymore. So I wanted to do something that was a little bit more challenging. The brewery is great because you get the chance to build things, create things. Has the business aspect of selling the beer, drinking the beer, and so it's a lot of fun.
So how did Aviator get its name?
I was driving down to the office down in Raleigh to file the corporate papers, and I still didn't have a name. Kind of walking into the office, I was like, we're at an airport, and we got an airplane in the hangar and in the brewery, so Aviator's probably a pretty good name. We started in November of 2008 down at the airport, and we had a small tasting room in the hangar, and people would just come into the hangar and just start drinking beer, and that's where it kind of launched. After about a year and a few months, we kind of outgrew the hangar, just ran out of space. We had literally no room left in the hangar. So we located a 10,000 square foot building in Fuquay, and we moved the brewing operation there. What was cool about the move is we were able to produce beer in the hangar, leave it in the bright tanks, move the rest of the brewery to the new building, get it all up and running and brew there without missing a single batch. So we actually transferred the whole brewery in a week, and we never missed any production at all. We do 16 different kinds of beer. We do 6 beers that are on tap all the time, always available. And throughout the different seasons, we'll add 2 or 3 different seasonals for a total of 16 different beers. Even then, we do throw in the occasional beer that's brand new, just to keep it interesting for us as brewers and to be able to have that creative side to create something.
So no matter what time of the year, you can always find something new and interesting from Aviator. But just how do the beers get their names?
The names, believe it or not, are very difficult to come up with. There's usually a lot of debating and drinking goes on to come up with these names. The names on purpose have nothing to do with airplanes. We're a little bit superstitious about that. Every brewery that's been airplane-centric and named their beers after airplanes has failed. So we, on purpose, don't name the beers after airplanes, but we do get a lot of suggestions.
What makes Aviator different from other brands?
We interpret the beer a little bit differently, I think other breweries do. We like to serve a certain flavor profile in the beers. We don't like that kind of watery taste in the beer. When you drink an Aviator beer, we want you to get kind of slapped in the face and go, wow, I'm drinking a beer.
Speaking of drinking beer, Mark offered us a private tasting. So this is where my friend Aaron comes in. He's been a home brewer for years and certainly enjoys a good beer. Let's get his take on the Aviator lineup.
So Aaron, this is the Devil's Tramping Ground Triple.
All right.
So that's a 9.2% Belgian triple.
I can smell the yeast a little bit.
Yeah, it should have a very, very smooth flavor. The alcohol is very well hidden, it's very smooth.
I really like it. It's nice and dry, and you cannot tell that this is a 9.2% beer.
Yep, that'll do it.
This is great.
The next one we got here, this is a little change of pace. This is Hog Wild IPA. This is an unfiltered IPA with 7 different hop varieties in it. Has a lot of hop flavor, a lot of hop smell, very almost grapefruity on the nose.
Yeah, I like that. It's got a lot of grapefruit.
There'll be a huge difference in flavor profile.
Oh yeah.
So that'll definitely put some hair on your chest.
That's a good IPA.
So Aaron, this is kind of our flagship beer, Hot Rod Red.
Okay.
So we got the name. We were trying to get the beer. We're trying to sell it in the car show, and so we figured Hot Rod Red would be a great name. We never actually did get it to the car show, but it's an American red ale. It has a lot of kind of malty sweetness to it, with some English hops and some American Cascade. So it kind of has a unique hop balance to it.
Yeah.
This is Steamhead. The style is a California Common.
I know this beer. I've had it before. I really like it.
It's an amber ale, American Northern Brewer hops. It's dry hopped and has 5.8% alcohol. Very, I consider it a very sessionable beer,
like
something you can sit
beer.
around all night and just put back a few. This beer is called Mad Beach, and it's our lowest alcohol beer at 4.8%. It's an American wheat beer. One thing you'll notice about the beer, it's a wheat beer that's clear. We use a yeast that flocks out of the beer, that settles out pretty rapidly. So it has a great smooth flavor, and there's a little bit of sweet orange peel in there to kind of balance it out. But it's a great Sunday afternoon beer, something you can kind of drink all day.
Yeah, that's a nice light drinker.
If you like the taste, you can also see where the beer comes from with a tour of the Aviator Brewery.
Come on, everyone. All right, everyone, welcome to Aviator Brewing Company. My name's Andrew. I'm the head brewer here. So if you notice, all of our beers have a little bit more body, a little bit more mouthfeel. That's because we use barley rather than corn or rice or something like that. Hops are what bitters your beer. So if you didn't add hops, your beer would be very, very sweet, too sweet to drink even.
Aviator offers tours of the brewery and an open tasting room on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
You see a beer today is pretty clear. The reason for that is because we let it sit at very cold temperatures and age out.
For the latest information, check the Aviator website, www.aviatorbrew.com.
The advantage we have here as being a brewery to have this tasting room is that we can fill growlers, which is basically a half-gallon jug of beer that you can take home with you. And as a brewery, you're allowed to do this, to have that permit to get beer to go. Plus, a lot of our beer is a lot fresher than you would get in most bars because the brewery is so close to our bar.
But the bar and brewery aren't the only places in downtown Fuquay to carry the Aviator name. Just across the street from the Aviator Tap House is the Aviator Smokehouse Restaurant.
If anyone's looking for dinner after they leave here.
We basically opened this bar and we would sit here and drink beer, and we all love to, we all have smokers at home. We love to smoke meat. So we're sitting in this bar, and one day the restaurant across the street goes out of business. We're like, wow, that'd be a great place to smoke some meat. So we kind of jumped into the restaurant business. We know absolutely nothing about it. Put a smoker in there, started smoking meat, and people have just been packing the place ever since.
So other than Fuquay-Varina, where can people find Aviator beer?
Believe it or not, we're just under 4,000 barrels of beer, and we distribute all that beer within 40 miles of the brewery. We have 170 accounts locally, bars and restaurants, Whole Foods, Weaver Street Market, all the local bottle shops like Tasty Beverage in Raleigh. We're going to start distributing the beer in Asheville. Then we're going into some of the other markets like Charlotte, the Triad, Greenville. It's mainly just a matter of production. It's just right now it's very difficult to keep up. So we're expanding the brewery to get production up to a level where we can meet the demand of that market.
To learn more about Aviator beer, the Aviator Tap House, the Smokehouse, or to find out how to serve Aviator in your bar or restaurant, check out their website, www.aviatorbrew.com. And remember, with any alcoholic beverage, enjoy it responsibly. Never get behind the wheel if you think you may be over the legal limit. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time for another edition of Carolina on Tap.